Hello there. Once again, this is Anton from Anton Bay. Thank you for stopping by the collection room. Today I am taking a look at the end of some series. Some stuff that I've looked at before. So I had looked at Foxfire 1 through 3 and I didn't know if there was any more. And as soon as I figured out there was, I hurried up and found one and got it ordered and finally came in. It was a little difficult to get a hold of, not terribly. It's not a very well-known series. So I picked up the last issue of Foxfire, and then I have been thoroughly enjoying, I was very pleased to reacquire and to own my series of Strange Tales featuring Cloak and Dagger, some of my favorite comic books from back in the day. And I've got the last 3 issues of that series. It ended at issue 19. So I thought I would just close out both series in one fell swoop here. And I guess I'll start off with Foxfire number 4. Yeah, I did not know that there was 4 issues of this. I kind of thought the series ended abruptly and didn't actually finish, but it turns out it did end abruptly, but they did, I think, finish the story they were on, which was a crossover with the Punisher at the time. Now, this is Malibu Comics post Black September. This is after they were purchased by Marvel. And a lot of people are just not aware of most of the books that they continue to publish. I think the most they did was Prime. After being bought by Marvel, they made Prime for like a year. Can't have that. It's not good. But most of the series that they had post-Marvel literally only ran maybe 4 issues, maybe 7. I think Mantra made it 7. And there was not a lot of them. There was not a lot of issues of anything being produced. They canned most of the titles or didn't produce them for legal reasons. I have heard it said that a lot of these Malibu comic characters were creator owned. And so Marvel couldn't use them. I don't know if that's true. It would make some sense. She's melting this robot lady that looks just like her. But, you know, that makes sense. If they didn't have control of the creator of the characters, then that would make sense why a lot of these books they weren't able to continue to publish. And voila. Might be why they came up with a few new Malibu characters at the same time, such as Foxfire and Siren. And, you know, they tried to eke it out with a very little bit. But, like, you never see... And there's your last shot. But yeah, I mean, I think it's reasons of copyrights why you never see characters like Hard Case and stuff like that really at all after the Malibu purchase. So, come on, Jack, let's go home. The end for now. Foxfire will return in the pages of Ultra Force. Does she? I'm not really sure. And if she does, it's only so that they can wrap up the end of Ultra Force as it is, of the Ultraverse, because Ultra Force, I know, ran under Marvel's ownership, but not for very long. That's another series that I need to look into. I'm trying to like kind of fill in what Malibu looked like after Marvel purchased it. There isn't a lot to buy, but I am trying to get it. And close out just a little weird chapter in the world. And speaking of closing out a weird chapter in the world, Strange Tales featuring Cloak and Dagger and Doctor Strange. Man, as far as I know, it's the last Strange Tales book published. They had several titles, you know, like Strange Tales, where they would put different characters in. I'm pretty sure this is the last one I remember. With that is a beautiful opening page. You got Dagger. You got a whole bunch of shadow monsters. Awesome. Great opener. And an I-beam. Nice. So, I loved Cloak and Dagger initially, their own series. And so for them to have this weird spin-off title, I mean, Strange Tales, and they did have more comics later on. They had the Mutant Misadventures of Cloak and Dagger, which I think only ran about 17 issues or 18, something like that. Wowza, that's a heck of a page. That's a heck of an outfit. But I like how the top of her hat and everything matches her weird monsters that she controls. That's pretty cool. Interesting and bizarre look all the way around. But You know, they had the original 4-issue miniseries of Cloak and Dagger after they appeared in Spider-Man. Spectacular Spider-Man? I think it was Spectacular Spider-Man. Which I'll have to see. I think I have it. I think I still have the first appearance of Cloak and Dagger. I should probably look into that. It's just a building, but that's actually a really pretty building. So, that's pretty neat. I was never interested in the Doctor Strange stories. In fact, I doubt I ever read them. I know I read the Cloak and Dagger stories in these because I, of course, enjoy Cloak and Dagger immensely. They have this real, like, I don't know, small universe, creepy feel to them. And when I say small universe, it's because sometimes, you know, characters in the Marvel universe, it's so vast, it's so big, they're saving the world. And it seems like Cloak and Dagger's adventures are almost always isolated to something within just a few blocks in a city. So it's very isolated. This lady's creepy. That outfit is creepy. Everything about that is super creepy, but I also respect it because of how like weird and creepy that all looks. Juxtaposed to like the brightness of Dagger and her weird chopped haircut at this point. That's a good cover. Penciler, Dan Lawless. He's been doing a good job on these. This is 1988, by the way. So I think the stories that they heard from Strange Tales, that alone is a creepy, cool little picture. The adventures that they had in Strange Tales, I feel like are more occultish, more bizarre, more entwined with Doctor Strange type stuff than normal. Like their regular series, they're fighting like drug dealers and stuff. But in Strange Tales, they are fighting shadow creatures, a shadow lizard, weird demon ladies, people in nightmares. Now, they fought Nightmare in their own series, but there's definitely a darker tone to these. Much more creepy and everything. I can hear the neighbor dog going just completely bonkers next door. Hope you guys can't hear that. Ew, Dagger in all black looks nasty. That's a touch of your hand, Doctor Strange. Yeah, it was just, for some reason, I could not get into Doctor Strange. I don't think I think it's because he reminded me too much of like the old Sword and Sorcerer books, and that's never been my thing. I never liked old Sword and Sorcery books. And even though he's a modern character, he certainly brings the sorcerer half to the Sword and Sorcery. And I guess I'm just not into it. It's just not my thing. When playing an RPG, I never pick the magician. I always go with, you know, the archer. Or whoever has a stick. That's who I pick. I don't pick the magician. I remember this little ad of Wolverine where he's got all sorts of dumb things as claws. All right. And this about wraps it up, because this is the last issue of Strange Tales. And it's kind of cool to wrap up 2 comic series in one video. But we got The Thing, we got Mayhem, and we recently saw Mayhem putting the moves on Cloak, which I thought was weird. It's also weird that, like, she was a cop and now she just wears these weird rags and her top is never buttoned, but it just kind of stays closed. I always thought this was odd. An odd choice of an outfit for a undead, ethereal ghost monster creature. But it is what it is. And this is The Thing during his super lumpy phase, which I don't know enough about the Fantastic Four to know why he was in this super lumpy phase. But, wow, that's a lot going on in one page. It's a busy panel. Very busy panels. Yeah, that thing just looks like crap. And I don't know why they would do this to themselves, because they had to draw this every single day. every single panel you have to draw all these extra lumpy things going on. And that wraps it up. Didn't even have Cloak and Dagger in it. We're going to close out Doctor Strange's story arc that he's got going on. And I kind of wonder if he did not have a book at this time. It seems like odd that you would put half of him going on and this and have his own book, but I'm not familiar enough with the timeline to know exactly what he had going on at this point. Yeah, way too biological looking stuff. Just nasty looking. Next issue. There is no next issue. Doctor Strange returns to his own title on sale in late July. So maybe he did have his own title. Maybe he just wasn't in it for a while. I don't know. Seems kind of weird. But, well, that closes it out. That is the last issue of Strange Tales with Cloak and Dagger that they ever produced. And that is the last issue of Foxfire. Probably the last we ever heard of Foxfire at this point. We all know that Cloak and Dagger and Doctor Strange and the Thing, they all moved on to other things and are still around. But as far as Foxfire, that's probably pretty much it. And I know we never see this robot gal again, so... Anyway, that's my story. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it greatly. Hope you enjoyed the Strange Tales videos. That's the entire series. There's previous videos if you want to see all the rest. And there's a previous video on Foxfire if you want to catch the entirety of that series. Other than that, click like if you hated it. And there's many other videos like this if you'd like to check them out. And I will catch you guys later. Bye.